Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who plotted to kill her mother, was released from prison early this morning around 3:30 a.m. after serving a bit more than 7 years behind bars. She was originally sentenced to 10 years in prison back in July of 2016 after she pled guilty to second-degree murder in the death of her mother, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard. Now her ex-boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, is serving a life sentence for fatally stabbing Dee Dee.
Now, Gypsy Rose was just 23 at the time of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard's death. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder, admitting to plotting with her then-boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, to kill her mom in June of 2015. Blanchard suffered from Munchausen by proxy, which is a mental disorder when someone fabricates illnesses or causes injury to someone for sympathy or attention. Gypsy Rose said her mother had convinced everyone she was terminally ill with the mind of a 7-year-old child, suffered from muscular dystrophy, leukemia, and other ailments. Doctors eventually determined she was never ill. And Gypsy Rose told People magazine she is not proud of what she did and she, quote, regrets it every single day. Blanchard's attorney says as part of her parole, Gypsy will be allowed to leave Missouri and live in Louisiana with her husband, Ryan Scott Anderson, whom she married while she was in prison. Her father and stepmother have been helping to set up a new life for her upon her release.
Now, this is a very controversial in some ways, Gypsy being released from prison. My previous video had mostly supportive comments for Gypsy, and I feel like, especially with her comments recently, and I think that she regrets deeply what she's done, and I think that hopefully she's going to do a lot of good while she's free, and I don't want to say redeem herself, but I guess in some ways do that. And she's come to realize that her mother was very, very ill, and she should have obviously asked for help. We can't say what we would do if we were in that sort of position, because thankfully none of us have been there. But her family is very supportive, and again, Ashley Banfield spoke with her stepmother the other day, and I think it's pretty exciting what they do have coming up in the future for Gypsy.
We're going to pretty much follow her lead, see how overwhelming she gets, and it's going to be a big adjustment.
What does she want to do first?
Oh, we're doing a spa day. We booked a spa day. We're going to go get her pedicure, manicure, facial, haircut, colored if she wants. You know, the works, bring her shopping.
And in an interview, she said if she had a chance to redo everything, she would go back to when she was a child and tell her aunts and uncles that she was not sick and would tell them, quote, "Mommy makes me sick," and said her mother was a sick woman and didn't deserve what happened to her.
So again, I don't think that we can judge or know what we would do if we were in such a horrific situation as Gypsy was. And I personally look forward to watching this documentary series that's going to be airing on January 5th through the 7th on Lifetime. And I'm going to play the trailer right now for those that have not seen it. And I will be doing a follow-up video once the little mini-series airs in its entirety, and discuss it here on the channel.
After a lifetime of silence, I finally get to use my voice to share my story and speak my truth. As a survivor of relentless child abuse, this docuseries chronicles my quest to expose the hidden parts of my life that have never been revealed until now.
My mother claimed that I was sick.
A Lifetime documentary event.
Gypsy Blanchard is the only victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy who has killed their mother.
She chained me to the bed. She said, "We'll never be happy." He was holding the medications, hospitals, surgeries. There was no end in sight. Sharp scream. I will finally share my story the way that it should be shared.
The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Coming soon to Lifetime.
So that trailer really does get me interested, because Gypsy's story has always intrigued me. And I felt bad for her. She was a victim of child abuse. That never makes murder okay. But I think there's some situations like being abused, domestic violence. In those situations, I think it's a very fine line to be able to judge or understand. And I think that this 3-part series is going to really give us an idea of what she went through. I mean, we've heard the stories. We heard her testimony in court and all these years, but I think that this is going to be kind of Gypsy's final telling her story. And she also has a book coming out next month as well. So I think it's time that she's gotten, a chance to live her life. And I hope she's getting rehab and help while she's on parole and while she's with her new husband and her family, because it's honestly not something, everything that she went through, even though she's been in prison for almost 8 years, I don't think that it's something that she's going to heal through and from in that period of time. And now she's out in the world as of early this morning, and gosh, I mean, what a change. And it's not going to be, anything's going to be the same for her. And I think that, like her stepmother said, they're going to see how she feels and how she wants to go, because I can't imagine being in prison for that long and after being abused and everything she went through. Life is not going to be normal at all for Gypsy. But let me know what you guys think of Gypsy's release today. It's been a big news day with true crime, between the Idaho King Road house being demolished, Gypsy being freed from prison. It's been a lot going on, and I think 2024 is going to be an even bigger year with true crime. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and most of all, stay safe.